Good afternoon and welcome back to Leads with Luce on Franciscan Beat. I'm your host Lucy and this is the show where we talk about the Bible and what it means to a student here at Franciscan University. Today's gospel is Matthew chapter 9 verses 27 through 31. Let's get into it. And as Jesus passed from thence, there followed him two blind men crying out and saying, "Have mercy on us, O Son of David." And when he was come to the house, the blind men came to him, and Jesus said to them, "Do you believe that I can do this unto you?" They said to him, "Yes, Lord." Then he touched their eyes, saying, "According to your faith, be it done unto you." And their eyes were opened, and Jesus strictly charged them, saying, "See that no man know this." But they, going out, spread his fame abroad in all that country. Years ago, a professor told me that interactions with Christ seem to fall into a specific pattern. Step 1, you open yourself to the Lord. Step 2, he touches you. Step 3, you are transformed. This passage follows that pattern perfectly. The blind men seek Jesus out. He touches their eyes, and they are transformed. And this transformation occurs in two places, their bodies and their hearts. Notice how they are healed of their physical blindness, but they also go through a change in their actions and go out to proclaim the true nature of Jesus. This is such a beautiful thing because when the blind men make contact with Jesus, their faith opens the door for him to enter into their hearts, and they, in turn, go out and seek to transform others. And I'm sure they have no idea what they're doing. They're simply so filled with joy and so changed that they become aligned with God's plan and become instruments for truth. But that is precisely what happens when we commit to faith and we open the door for Christ to transform us and align us to his divine will. Faith is a two-way street. God is constantly knocking on our hearts, but only we can open the door. I think this is a really good message to head into the Advent season. It's all about faith, even in the dark. And Advent is a dark time, both figuratively and literally. The days are way too short, it's dark and cold all the time. You start to have serious doubts about why you're even in Ohio. It is a time of blindness. Now here's what I want you to really take away from this gospel. In this story, the blind men had surprisingly good sight for being blind. Somehow they found Jesus and followed him. And I'm not sure I could do that even with sight. I'm not very good with crowds. But the blind men were desperate. They were very aware that they needed Jesus to heal them. Despite being physically blind, they could see very clearly that they were in need of healing. When they finally catch up to Jesus, he says to them, "According to your faith, be it done to you." And their faith was strong enough to allow Jesus to heal and transform them. My friends, I encourage all of you to take on the blind man's urgency. They had enough sight to see that they needed healing and to seek out one who could heal them. I think that true blindness is not a physical ailment, but a failure to see your own wounds. Like I said, faith is one half of the battle. How can you seek out a healer and beg for healing when you are blind to your own pain? So for this week's lead, I want to encourage you all to have the blind man's awareness. They knew they needed to be healed, and they had the faith and persistence to approach Christ and ask for healing. So if something is bothering you, run to the Father, seek him out, and cling to the faith that will allow him to heal you. And now to Dan the Weatherman with your weather.
Well, my fellow Frannies, we started out this semester in a season known as Pumpkin Spice Season, and I am proud to announce that we are in Peppermint Season now, which means it's time for your holly jolly weather forecast. It is currently 52 degrees and cloudy with a 0% chance of precipitation. But tonight it looks like we got a 78% chance of precipitation, still cloudy, and raining at 47 degrees. So it looks like the Lord's not quite ready to pull a Dean Martin and let it snow, but we can all hope and pray that at some point soon it'll be snowing. Back to you, Lucy.
Thanks for tuning in. This was Leads with Luce. I've been your host, Lucy Shifko. Now go out and proclaim the good news.